Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right, man. 4 o'clock. We are here. It's the guys from the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. And boy, are we lined up to have a show today. Of course, I got the gang in the building. What's going on, Uncle Scott? How you doing? Bobby G, I see you celebrated a birthday last week. You're a
Yep.
couple of months older. Minutes, hours have gone by. And in that time, Bobby, some monumental news has transpired. And we've got to get right into it. Big shouts out to everybody tuning in. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. Share, like, and subscribe. And if you listen to the radio, go ahead and turn it up. It's the boys from the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. Let's do the show.
This is Rec Room Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes like Jay on the mic or your boy K Witt. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fist. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
Yeah. That's right, man. You know what it is, man. 4 o'clock on a Thursday. It is time for the Boys of the Rec Room Sports Gang to rock. I am here in the Anna John Levine Studios, right in the middle of Jacksonville. Of course, it's a gloomy day because you know in Jacksonville the weather's a little funny. Right around this time, it could be raining on Beach Boulevard and sunny in Orange Park, but that's just how it goes. Big shouts out to everybody in the parking lot right now here at the studio. We are supporting the Venezuelan relief. Please stop by the studio. Bring in your water. Bring your non-perishable items. Support us as we support those who cannot support themselves in their time of need. But you know what I need you to do? I need you to make some noise for my guys in the building. I got my favorite uncle in the building right now. Somehow has escaped and found the wireless router. Once again, everybody, Uncle Scott Cole. Uncle Scott, what's going on?
I am now a Cleveland Cavaliers fan.
Officially?
I've turned in my Celtics card. That's it. I'm done.
Oh, my goodness.
LeBron, come home. LeBron, come home, please.
Yes, we will learn more about why you are officially a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, surely, Uncle Scott. And, of course, we know my homie right here, man. Cleveland's home. Las Vegas is home. And, of course, he will have more to cheer about shortly because we have no idea what's going to happen with the aforementioned LeBron James from Game Time 216 and the Audible Sports Podcast, where life and sports meet culture. We got to give it up, man, for my guy. Bobby G, what it do?
Hey, you know what it is. Actually, I'm kind of in a somber mood, and I'm going to tell Uncle Scott why he should not be so happy to be a Cavs fan.
Okay. Well, everybody's in a down mood. And, of course, y'all know what it is with me. It's your boy K with your mama's #1 draft pick. I am bonkers right now. I'm at a loss for words. I do not know how to describe the feelings that I feel as a Celtic fan, but we will definitely get into that because, of course, one of the things that we have to do as we start the show is we have to play my new favorite game and yours. That's right, man. What's the word? So, of course, there have been some things that have gone on in sports. So let's tell you all about them. We'll start at the top of the list, man. Serena Williams, we know her highly anticipated return to professional tennis in 2026 happened. The Wimbledon championships ended in the first round for Miss Williams. Of course, you know she's a mother. She's been away for about 4 years. June 30th, in her first singles match, at 44, I just want y'all to remember that. At 44, bruh, she was out there in the streets, and somehow magically, guess what happens? She was defeated by a 20-year-old Australian Maya Joint in a 3-set thriller on center court with the final score of 6-3, 6-7, 6-3. And if you know anything about tennis, that's not so bad, but at the same time, losing is losing, especially to an icon or for an icon like Serena. Bobby G, what's the word for what we saw when it comes to Miss Serena and her loss?
What's the word?
I mean, it's still great. Like for her to come back and to fight back, come back and get back to playing that level of tennis and competition. Remember, she played the tournament while she was pregnant. Like it's not like Serena has not done amazing things on the tennis court before, and it's not over. I believe she got the doubles match with her sister.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see more, and I'm sure as she gets more acclimated, she'll get better and better, and that first W is going to be special and spectacular. So
For sure. Uncle Scott, you got a word for Serena taking a loss?
Yeah, groundbreaking. I mean, you don't see this. I mean, you have to be in tremendous shape. You have to be in the mindset that you want to do this, and you have to put in the hours of practice. And Serena, I give Serena 1,000% credit for doing this. Nobody at 44 is going to be like, I want to go out and practice. I want to get back into tennis. So groundbreaking is my word. We've never seen this before, and I don't think we'll ever see it again.
100%. I think you're right. My word is going to be inspirational because there's somebody out there right now, and they're not a professional tennis player, and they are in their mid-40s, early 40s, late 30s, 17s, 18, I don't care. And there's something that they really want to do that they probably did and took a break from due to life circumstances, whether it be athletics, whether it be school, whether it's, even trying to ascertain certifications so you can be better at school or just life in general. I think this is one of those things where, hey, look, we saw Serena take a break, and she was at the peak of her career when she took a break. She was at the top of the tops when it comes to the tennis world. But to take a break, a long one, be a full-time mother, and then come back, especially from women, I think that's a big word. So, my word right now is inspirational. So, as we continue on, Team USA, that's right. They're doing things in the World Cup. Of course, it's America. So something had to happen to us, right? Folarin Balogun, that's right, was shown a straight red card in the 64th minute of USA's 2-0 round of 32 victory against Bosnia and Herzegovina on July 1st, which, of course, just happened. The dismissal occurred around a challenge on Tariq Mahrmovic that was reviewed by VAR, of course. Due to the red card, Balogun is automatically suspended for the upcoming round of 16 match against Belgium on July 6th. Bruh. FIFA regulations regarding referee decisions on the field are final, meaning there is no appeal in the process. This creates a significant challenge for head coach Mauricio Pochettino, as Belgium has been key offensively and I'm so baffled, but he has been a key contributor to the scoring as he has scored 3 goals during the tournament. I got one question for the game. What's the word for this red card, which apparently everybody says this is a normal soccer/football play, Uncle Scott?
I'll use 2 words. Utterly ridiculous. He had no intent in the play. He was not going to hurt the guy. He was just doing a soccer play, which probably they've been coached to do for years. And he gets red carded and gets himself booted out. Scored the only goal up to that point. U.S. added another goal to win 2-0, but it's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, straight up. Bobby G, your word.
I'm going to go with the acronym. NBA.
Uh-oh.
This
is NBA's influence on other sports. We've seen the NBA get softer and softer and softer over the last 10 to 20 years, heck, 30 years. And this is now that influence going into other sports. Like we seeing normal fouls in the NBA being every time somebody gets fouled, we're going to go to the table and review to see if this meets the criteria. And now you see that exact same attitude, the exact same effect going into other sports where normal plays. Scott's absolutely right. There was no intent. Yes, the play was hard. It was difficult, and it could have resulted in an injury. But like you said, there was zero intent. It was accidental contact. It just happened to be rough. But did it raise to the level of an knock, especially when you let them do what they did the entire first half?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, come on now. So,
yeah, I'm somewhere right behind you. And I'm going to use another acronym. I'm going to use MLB, because, of course, VAR stands for Video Assistant Referee. And y'all know Major League Baseball has gone through a huge transition in which they have used video-related and digital technology to regulate the strike zone. Okay? You want to know if you got a strike or a ball? Pat your head. Okay. Let's see if you really got a fair call and what happened. And so what they do in the World Cup, hey, look, emotions are involved. Let's review the tape. But as I have heard pretty much since last night, this is a normal football play. Two legs colliding to make contact with the ball. Of course, in real time, you may not have caught the full magnitude of what happened, but the slow down 1 millisecond at a time replay makes it look a whole lot more intense. And I don't know if you know, we complain about flopping in the NBA, but in World Cup soccer, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, these boys need an Oscar, okay? Because they are flopping, falling, flailing, all kinds of things. But I'm not taking away from the severity of the contact, and I am also not degrading or downplaying the level of play in the World Cup. But part of being a good football player is knowing when to hit the ground and when to roll around. I gotta admit that, because I don't, as much as I watch, which is very little. When they hit that ground, boy, they boys hitting that ground. Let me tell you.
That wasn't a flop though.
No, that wasn't a flop.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was hurt. But in any other instance, I've seen a lot of flailing and falling when it comes to World Cup 2026. Anyway, we got to keep it moving, because another thing that I want to know, really, what's going on? What's the word? Now, the Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar rivalry has reached its peak. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is on its ear because the WWE rivalries have never been this hot lately. The rivalry between Obafemi, the Beast Incarnate, and the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, has become one of the most intense and high-stakes feuds in WWE in the 2026 season. The path to Hell in a Cell, the path to a Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam, taking place August 1st and 2nd, is culminating in the months-long clash of the Titans that has both men have traded victories in which, we've seen everybody, each person, get a pin. And at one point in time, we thought Brock Lesnar was going to retire. By winning the King of the Ring tournament, Obafemi has earned a guaranteed world championship match at SummerSlam. However, Obafemi made a bold decision to put that championship opportunity to the side to settle his score with Brock Lesnar, telling general manager Adam Pearce that the title is always going to be there. Guys, when we think about WWE, because we know ESPN owns the titles now, you know what I'm saying? We got to bring it up. What's the word? What's the word? For Obafemi and Brock Lesnar having a Hell in a Cell match. What we got, Bobby G?
Torch.
Ooh.
We're finally gonna see the passing of the torch. Everybody thought that's what it was at WrestleMania. We saw Brock, retire out of the blue, and it's turned into some great cinema lately. But Oba's one of the fastest rising stars, probably one of the fastest rising since Brock Lesnar, and so it just gives us time to recognize the greatness that was Brock Lesnar, one of the greatest athletes. Then, like you said, wrestler, one of the greatest athletes ever. See him go from WWE to MMA to when he auditioned for the NFL. Like this dude, to be that size and do the things he can do, has to be admired. And to pass the torch to a guy in Oba who looks to be just, a spitting image, minus certain features, of course. But nah, man, it should be epic, and look forward to enjoying the match in a few months.
Yeah, I can't wait until it happens. I got to refer to my guy, Mr. First Down, who is in the comment section. Big shouts out to my guy, Sam. I can't wait until they do an episode of On the Mat with our guy, AP Alan Perales, and tells us all about what's going on. But, of course, Uncle Scott, you're a wrestling guy. Tell us what you think the word is.
Stepping stone. This is Oba's stepping stone to the championship. I think that they're going to hold Oba and Roman Reigns off till WrestleMania. I think that would be the ideal thing to do. Oba, again, set it up with I can take my title shot whenever I want it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to hold this off. They're going to make Oba huge on the level of Roman Reigns. And I think at WrestleMania, that's when he's going to cash in his title shot, and he's going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So it's a stepping stone. Brock Lesnar can make Oba look really, really good in this match. Let's see if he does it.
100%. I am with you. And, of course, somewhere in there, we got to remember that the WWE and the matchmakers are aware that this is a business. So this is definitely an idea where you can say, more money, more money, more money. Let's build it up until we can't build it up anymore. And at the antithesis, we will let them fight, which Hell in a Cell, of course, will be a cage match. And I can't wait to hear the analysis. Oh, yeah, we're going up on Sunday at 8:30 Central. That's what we're doing, Sam? All right, make sure you catch my guy, Mr. First Down. They will be talking about the Hell in a Cell match with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. And last but not least, gentlemen, I would be remiss if I did not make this a public service announcement when it comes to What's the Word. What's the word? Last week on the show, y'all, we had our favorite guest. That's right, FOTG. That's right, friend of the gang, Miss Mia O'Brien, as she set the sports world on fire with her takes on the Upshot League and Angel Reese. If you have not visited us at our respective social media sites, I need you to do that, because you can go follow us on Twitter. That's at RecRoomSports. On IG, that's _RecRoomSports. That's where you need to go to see Mia. On TikTok, that's at RecRoomSports Hub. And at YouTube, of course, that's THEE RecRoomSports Hub. Mia somehow got us a whopping. That's a whopping. I want to check it again. It's like 3.8 thousand views on her Upshot League comments, and then 2.5 thousand comments. Thousand views on her conversation on Angel Reese. Fellas, when you think about the impact that women's sports had on the show last week, I need a word for that. Let's go. What's the word? RBG?
Expect it, man. Women's sports is gaining more and more popularity every day. We're going away from the Caitlin Clark brought us here to now getting to know other female athletes. So, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese did their job, in college and got us to the point where we are. And it's great to see. It's great to see these women getting their just due. So, and shout out to Mia, man. FOTS, friend of the show, always does a great job when she joins us. So, goodbye her.
For sure. Bye, Bobby G. Thank you. That was perfect. And then Uncle Scott, your word.
Respect. I mean, I've been in the women's sports game for 30 years. I mean, finally they're getting their just due and respect in the last 8 to 10 years. So, I respect. Mia O'Brien does a fantastic job. I try to listen to her show every now and then, but I think women's sports is on the rise. So,
yeah, most definitely. And I am in the same boat as you are, because when I got an opportunity to go back and actually listen to what she was saying and kind of digest it, because, a lot of people had a lot to say in the comments about her thoughts, but was she wrong? No. Was she what you have to go by as the gospel? Completely no. You can say or feel what you want, but is she someone that we can listen to and get the right idea and an introspective view from? For sure. That's why she's a FOTG. That's right, a friend of the gang. So my word, explosion, because it was an explosion on our page, and I am excited to bring her back, because I just wanted to talk about something else. I don't know what she's gonna talk about next time, but I can't wait till we bring Mia back, man. Oh, guys, guess what? We gotta go and tell the people that on this weekend, since Mia brought up the Upshot League and the Jacksonville Waves, there is a game Sunday. That is right, Sunday here in Jacksonville on July the 5th. And apparently Brian is giving me the single. How many we got? 1, 2, If you got a group of friends right now, I need you to call up to the radio station 904-362-9901. I got 4 tickets. That's right, 4. If you got a group of people to go see the Jacksonville Waves take on the Charlotte Crown, go ahead and call that number 904-362-9901. Talk to Brian. Let us know what's going on and how you feel about the Jacksonville Waves. We got more sports coming up because we got to get into the NBA and these trades and this. Oh, my God, there's crazy stuff going on with free agency. It's the Boys from Rec Room Sports Radio Show right here on ESPN 690. Let's do it, Brian.
Yeah, man, if y'all ever want to come through, come check out the shop, Unique Trends and Styles. We got a lot of stuff to do. Game room. Come check out the great barbers we have in here. You know, anybody could cut you up. Fresh cuts every day, clean cuts. Consistency is the key, and we always got you. Thank you.
All right, y'all. All right, it's the boys from the Rec Room Sports Show. Of course, I got Uncle Scott. I got Bobby G. And you know me, man. It's your boy K, Rich Mama's #1 draft pick. We giving away tickets. That wasn't the only time we going to give them away, fellas. I got tickets for, what is that, Jacksonville Sharks game? I believe Brian's giving me the signal. Yep, it's a Sharks game. And I got another set of Jack's Waves tickets, so make sure you are locked in because the first one won some, but I got another one on the way, so stay tuned in. Now, gentlemen, things are happening.
Before we continue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what's up, Scott? Go ahead. What you got?
Do we realize the Jacksonville Wave were 11-3 and 4.5 games up in first place?
Come on.
Jacksonville, take advantage of watching a good team play. Remember Coach Jess was on at the beginning of the season?
Yes.
Phenomenal job. 11-3. Phenomenal job. Congratulations to the Wave so far.
Once again, thank you to the Waves organizations. Big shouts out to Zoya Sports. Once again, big shouts out to Coach Jess O'Brien, who came in and blessed us. And it was cooler than a fan, to be honest. Couldn't tell she was a coach. I thought she was a player for a second, but it was a great opportunity to talk with her here on the RecRoomSports Radio Show. We're gonna continue to support the Upshot League and the Jacks Waves right here at home. But as we continue on, fellas, it's been a bit of a ride, roller coaster, if you will, as the free agency flag was waved, I believe, at 6 p.m. on July the 1st, and all of a sudden the dominoes began to fall. Of course, there were trades that were happening prior to now. Everyone knows that, but they were not made official and could not have been signed upon until after 6 o'clock yesterday. Some of them we have already discussed because last week Giannis was on the move. We know Giannis got a chance to go to a possible contender in Miami once they get the structure fitted correctly around him and Bam Adebayo and Bobby Portis and whoever still remains on the roster. But then we saw a couple more things happen. And I'm going to start right at the top. Our guy, Jay, is not here to represent himself. Jay, what did he do? I know Jay's on the road. We're going to talk about where Jay is shortly. But Ja Morant, oh my goodness, traded from Memphis to the Portland Trail Blazers. Guys, I don't know where this idea that Ja Morant will be a good fit for the Portland Trail Blazers, but it is one that happened. And let me just say this. We know Ja Morant has had a rough go at being a young man with money. Some of it is self-inflicted. Others are just from where he's from. You know, he don't know no better. But he has to have a better perspective on what he's going to do going forward. But Portland has a reputation for having knucklehead players, if you will, as they earned the moniker the Jail Blazers in the late 90s and early 2000s. Bobby G knows about that. As we hear about, or we talk about this first domino that fell, one of the larger, if you mind, gentlemen, let's just bias aside. Hearing that Ja Morant is going to Portland, man, what are we thinking? What are they thinking as they send the two-time all-star on the way to being a superstar before being injured to Portland?
It's a no-lose situation. Low risk, high reward. They didn't give up a huge ton of assets. You got a player with this talent level, it comes with assets, right? We just saw Jaylen Brown, who was on the outs and it was known was going to be traded. Three first rounders. We saw Giannis go for 3 first rounders. We've seen Desmond Bane go for 5 first rounders. You got Ja Morant, a guy who's been the 6th man of the year or rookie of the year, most improved player in this league. And you didn't even have to give a first round draft pick to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got a Damian Lillard who's been bitten by the injury bug lately. We don't know what kind of player he's going to be going forward. We know he can shoot threes. That's about it. You want to come back and compete in 3-point counts. Get on the court for real, guy. But, if Ja comes in there and is on his best behavior, when he's focused on basketball, he's the 2nd most exciting player in this league.
Mm.
He can lead a team to the playoffs by himself. He's shown the ability to do that. So if you get him on his best behavior, like, it's a win-win. But what it really tells me is somebody's on the outs report. You now have a team full of point guards. You got him. You can't start him and Damian together. Scoot hasn't lived up to that top pick height. Who's going to be the odd man out? So that's what leaves me. Who's going to be the odd man out?
For sure. Uncle Scott, man, you're in on this. Your thoughts as far as Ja Morant making it to Portland and kind of fitting in a little bit?
It almost seemed like Portland called Memphis, and Memphis GM said, "Just give us anything. We'll just give us something. We'll trade him to you for anything. Just send us whatever." And then they agreed to the deal. I agree with Bobby. If his head's on straight this year, which I think it will be, and Damian Lillard, we don't know when he's coming back. We don't know how many games he's going to play when he comes back. We don't know what his health situation is right now. There's been a lot of reports from him, from his camp. I think Ja Morant's gonna play with his head on straight this year. I think he knows this could very well be his last chance in the NBA to show what kind of player he is. Yeah. So I think Portland got a really good value. I mean, extraordinarily good value for Ja Morant. And I think Ja Morant could lead them to a play-in spot, if not a playoff spot. So, again, and I agree with Bobby, there's too many point guards in Portland. Somebody needs to go.
Yeah, and I'm right behind you guys when it comes to that one. It's a bit of a logjam, if you will, for them to have Ja Morant, Scoot Henderson, Dame Lillard. That's enough. Just those three. Drew Holiday. Hello. All right. Then big shout out to brother Sean Baker checking in. Brother Sean Baker, I see you. We got hey, Jeremy Grant is a peanut butter sandwich. That's for sure. Hate seeing him go. His size and versatility was an asset. Yes, this is true.
Who is that time guy?
Sounds like somebody very much connected to the Portland
organization. Here's in the ketchup business.
For sure. And then as we continue on down the road of things that took place at the beginning of free agency, one of the biggest bombshells to drop, fellas, was the announcement from Rich Paul on his own podcast that LeBron has informed the Lakers that they can move on without him in free agency. Now, this one is a bit of a two-parter because once LeBron made this information known to the public, we saw the Lakers go out there and do what they do. You heard what I'm talking about? Boy, let me tell you, that cash register was ringing. They was like, oh, no, LeBron, guess what, y'all?
More money.
Started spinning that bag like it was nobody's business because out of nowhere, the acquisitions began to funnel in as we saw the Lakers do things like lose Marcus Smart, but somehow find a way to trade Rui Hachimura, which necessarily wasn't the best thing, but depending on how you look at it, they then signed Austin Reeves, added Quentin Grimes, Sandro Mamoukielishvili, who was playing out there in Toronto, and then Colin Sexton, who, of course, was in Utah in a bit of obscurity in a clogged backcourt as well. So kind of, sort of, they did a little bit of addition by subtraction. And when they subtracted LeBron's check, or what they would have to afford to LeBron, they kind of put in the place that you want to say, hey, look, this is now Luka's team. Okay? No question about it. Now, fellas, thinking about both sides of the tracks with the Los Angeles Lakers garnering the attention they have once LeBron left, are we looking at a new set of rules for the Lakers, Uncle Scott?
The Lakers are in trouble. Ooh. They're in trouble. I think they have no first-round picks until 2030. They gave up a boatload for Walker Kessler.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot to get Walker Kessler. They are stuck with that team for at least 2 years. Austin Reeves got the bag. Luka's got the bag, of course. Kessler got the bag. Lakers are in trouble. I don't know if they're going to be that good in the West. Now, will they make playoffs? Yes.
For sure.
That team will make the playoffs. Will they make a deep run in the playoffs? I don't know. I'm a little bit out on what the Lakers are doing here. They had $50 million in cap room, and it seems like they spent it all in one day. Said, all right, we're spending all. Here we go. Boom. Contract. I just don't know what they're doing. Palinka is doing out there.
You said they did to Oprah. You get a contract, and you get a contract.
That's right.
Bobby G, man, with the Lakers signings and LeBron not being a Laker, man, where you at on this one?
I'm on the other side of the spectrum from Scott. Well, first shout out to LeBron, because remember, that announcement didn't come out until after Bronny James's contract was guaranteed. So shout out to the father of the year, make sure his son got paid before he said, yo, I'm out of here. But yeah, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I love the Walker Kessler edition. I liked him in Utah. I wish the Cavs would have made an attempt to get him. I don't think it was that much. I mean, when you look at it, contract average yearly value is like about $30 million. Jared Allen makes about $30 million. And Walker Kessler's a hell of a better player than Jared Allen. He's legit 7 foot. He can hit. He's got range out to the 3-point line, so he's not just an inside guy. He's excellent in the pick and roll. More importantly, he's a rim defender. So, and we know how good Luka can make guys look, from that dunker spot. Just see Daniel Gafford, see Derek Lively. So I think Luka will make him an all-star. Dalton, we have to find out what Dalton Connect is. I don't know what the deal is with him and who he pissed off on the staff. But if you want this thing to be as successful as it can be, we have to find out what it is. We know he can get buckets. And we have to get beyond the blown trade from this past season. We got to get past that. Because if he can help, if he can get a bucket, you put him, Luka, and Reese on the floor at the same time, the Lakers should be able to score with anybody. You add Colin Sexton, another guy who can, if he can't do anything else, he can go get you a bucket. We'll see what happens with the Rui thing. If you can't stay, let's hope you can get involved in the sign and trade and possibly get another 3-and-D player at the 4. But I'm not completely out on the Lakers. I'd like to. I want to see what they do with the rest of the summer.
And I'm going to say this about the Lakers, man, of course, and I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. Saying goodbye to LeBron is going to be hard. But you know what's even harder? Pronouncing Sandro Mamukilishvili, okay? That is hard, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. But let's just keep it real. He's been playing in Toronto. He is a stretch big. He can get out there and move. He's one of the biggest pieces for the Lakers to pick up and add to the roster. So do not sleep on my man Sandro. This is one of those opportunities where the Lakers are, I think, taking a bit of a page from the Dallas Mavericks of the old. When they get a lot of those European-born players, they stick them around another European-born player, and they say, play that European basketball that you do over there. Play ball like that, okay? And the thing is, Luka made it clear he wanted a center to, be the focal point of his attack, because we know, just like you said earlier, Bobby, a player with athleticism in the dunker spot is what Luka loves, because as soon as the other team center begins to drift over to defend the rim as he drives, here goes the behind the back passes, here goes the dipsy do over the shoulder, and Walker Kessler will thrive in that spot. Also, Sandro can shoot. I don't know if y'all know, but the boy is cash from beyond the 3 when he gets a good shot. And you know that corner 3 is deadly right now. So as we continue on, let's respect LeBron leaving, and let's expect the Lakers to look like somebody next season. And then I will be remiss to not talk about the other person in LA. Kawhi Leonard, ladies and gentlemen, has been traded back to the Toronto Raptors, where he once won an NBA championship and garnered the MVP of the NBA playoffs. Well-deserved, might I add. Well-deserved when he did that. The shot heard around the world over Joel Embiid to put them into a place to win that championship will be one we will always remember, because Joel Embiid went down that hallway and cried like nobody's business. But anyway, Kawhi Leonard's situation, I think, is very different than everybody else's, because Kawhi out here ducking them people. Let's just be real. All right. Kawhi is out here trying not to get caught up. As quiet as he is, as much as he don't talk about nothing, Kawhi just trying to ease across that border before anybody decides to look into the allegations, which we will not necessarily go in depth with here. Before they try to look into those allegations of contract signings that circumvented the cap space, which is allotted to NBA teams, because that is what he originally tried to do in Toronto, and said, hey, I want a piece of this company. Well, Kawhi Leonard, how would you be a part of the company, and what would you do? I basically just want to be a piece, period. You're going to pay me just for being there. That's it. And that's what originally happened when he got traded to the Clippers. And I think somewhere down the line, we will hear more of the ramifications from that happening. Steve Ballmer said, I wipe my hands with you. I appreciate it. The arena is open. It's beautiful. You helped open it. Now we got to move on. I don't want nothing else to do with it. But it is still a Kawhi Leonard, somewhat on the downturn from what I think was his peak of his NBA career, going to a Toronto Raptors team who is in the East, right? Who's built around players in which they can do better with as they grow and get older and transform. So it's not like he's going nowhere. Gentlemen, as we think about the Toronto Raptors adding Kawhi Leonard, where are you at with this one, Uncle Scott?
So I've heard a lot of talk that this move is going to make Toronto a top 2 or 3 team in the East. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Kawhi gets injured, takes games off, doesn't play every game. Now Scotty Barnes is there. Okay, they got to the playoffs. They lost to Cleveland in 7 games in the first round. I get that. Is Kawhi the piece they need to get over a team like Cleveland or Detroit in the first round? I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it. I don't think Kawhi is that piece to get them over the hump. And don't forget, after they won the championship, Kawhi wanted out of Toronto in the worst way. So, to me, I just don't think Kawhi is that piece to get them over the hump in the East. I still think there's too many teams. So, I'm lukewarm on it. He's going to have to show me that he can get Toronto to become a major player in the East, but I'm lukewarm on it at best.
Yeah. Bobby G, go ahead and tell us your thoughts on your side of the planet, sir.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's like my first thought was I wondered why was Toronto the only team he's interested in re-signing with. Like there's literally nobody there from when he had his time there. Like Isaiah Majiri is gone. The coaching staff is gone. Like every single player that was on the roster is gone. Like, so what actually tied him to the team? Say, yeah, I'd like to go back to Toronto. Maybe he just loved the city that much. Maybe he is, running from the alphabet people, but that's neither here nor there. Mm-hmm. I'm just like Scott. Like, does this really? Are the Raptors with this move better than the Celtics right now? Even with the Jaylen Brown trade, because that happened prior to. I don't think so. Does it make them better than the Knicks right now? I don't think so. Does it make them better than the Charlotte Hornets? I don't think so. So it's like Kawhi's gonna find out the grass is not always green. Heck, he found it out in L.A. He's gonna find it out again, man. You gotta stop running from stuff, man. Plant your feet somewhere and get the job done.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that one. I think there's a bit of a situation that he may be or may not be running from, but we will probably get more information on that as the situation begins to unfold more. We got to take a quick break because, of course, if you don't know, it's the Rec Room Sports Radio Show right here on ESPN 690. We right here in the Anajar Levine Studios. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk some more about the free agent frenzy that has been happening in the NBA. That's Uncle Scott. That's Bobby G. It's your boy K Witt. Hey, Brian, do us a big favor, bro. Put us up on for the homies. Yeah. That's right. I'm feeling it. It's your boy K Witt, Mama's #1 draft pick. We are here in the Anajar Levine Studios, and it's the boys from the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. I am your host, of course, K Witt. That's Uncle Scott. That's Bobby G. And it looks as though we are being joined by the four-time Rookie of the Year when it comes to podcasting. Oh yeah, that's right. Our guy, fresh off the job, in the building. It looks like we're being joined by my friend, my brother, Alan Parallels, ladies and gentlemen. What it do?
Well, thank God there were no more trades in the NBA after that Kawhi trade. Thank God we can get on the free agency now.
Right.
Happy 4th of July weekend.
Yes, Alan. Thank you for joining us. We know, fresh off of work, you are here in the building, and you are going to talk about some things. So, Alan, we just got finished going over some of the bigger moves when it comes to free agency. We talked about Kawhi. We talked about LeBron. we are figuring out what's going to happen with the Lakers. But there's a couple things that took place that I think are in a larger ramification, the bigger picture. Julian Champagny signs that 3-year deal with the San Antonio Spurs for $45 million. I think that was a big one. The Pistons are bringing back Kevin Huerter. He gets a 3 years, 27. Landry Shamet, one of the key people who impacted the Knicks on their championship run, 4 years and $24 million. There are a couple good little things that happen out there in free agency, not just with the bigger names. Fellas, do me a big favor. Tell me which one of them stand out to you, and I'll start off with Uncle Scott first.
Oh, great.
Don't go there. We still got the second hour. Don't go straight to that one. But
Okay.
What player that is in doesn't rhyme with Jaylen Brown can we talk about?
Not trying to be a homer, but two signings that the Celtics made: Mitchell Robinson and Mike Conley. Mike Conley is the NBA veteran who will solidify that backcourt. Not a big time scorer, but will handle the ball, run the offense, and set guys up. And Mitchell Robinson is probably going to be the starter for the Celtics based on the contract that they gave him. I know he's only going to play 15 to 20 minutes a night, but between him and Kada, I think the Celtics are going to change their philosophy a little bit in terms of not shooting 53 pointers a game. I think you're going to see them shooting around 35 threes a game. I think Mitchell Robinson and Kada in the paint is a great 1-2 tandem for the Celtics. Now, will it get them to where they need to go? I don't know. But I'm willing to see how this plays out with Kada and Robinson. So I'd say those two signings for the Celtics were really good.
Okay, welcome to the show, Alan. I know you got one under your belt. And for some reason, I think I know where you might go with this.
Actually, you're wrong because I'm going for a whole team, and that's actually Charlotte. I like what Charlotte did as a whole this offseason. I know a lot of people question the LaMelo Ball trade, but I think they're better off making it, and I think they got a good comeback for it. I like the addition of Naz Reid, getting a trade for him as well. That adds a little bit more veteran presence there in a young, growing Charlotte organization. So I really like what Charlotte did. I know a lot of us, if not all of us on the show, are very high on the Charlotte Hornets, especially after how they performed last year. We could see them making maybe take that next step possibly here in the years to come.
I like it. Yeah, definitely in the years to come, that Charlotte roster is built to be, around each other. It's kind of like a big AAU team almost right about now. A mixed bag of great potential or great players with potential. Then, of course, Bobby G, you got something up on the radar that we didn't talk about yet?
Under the radar, yes, the best moves of the offseason. The Philadelphia 76ers acquired Dean Wade.
Oh, wow.
This is the greatest move in the history of the NBA. The White Wolf. The White Wolf, as we call him. Who showed outstanding production in the playoffs with 2 points per game, in 30 minutes a game. He's gonna work wonders next to Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, and player we'll discuss later. But yes, this is going to turn the 76ers franchise around. It's going to do wonders. Could lead them to a championship. He will not be sorely missed in Cleveland. But hey, good luck, Philly.
For sure. Philly got a lot going on with when it comes to these shooters and these ball handlers. So I can't wait to see what goes on with them. And then I got one that flew under the radar as well because, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo got traded to Miami, and then that means somebody had to go. Hello. Norman Powell has agreed to a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. He will join the Bulls following his all-star season in Miami, where he had been averaging nearly 22 points. Now, if you ask me, one of the things that I think Miami will miss, it'll be a sharpshooting, cutting guard like Norman Powell. He made his name and pretty much grinded out his check out there in a Clippers uniform, made it to Miami, and made a name for himself. And when you got to get the bag, you got to get the bag, man, because there wasn't going to be any money left for Norman Powell if the Giannis trade had been signed. And when it was signed, I think the writing was on the wall, and unfortunately, Norman Powell had to go. So that young Bulls team with a very young nucleus, that's exactly where he's headed to, and he's going to be having a fresh start. So speaking of, oh yes, Tobias Harris to San Antonio, thank you so much. I think that is also a big one. Speaking of a fresh start, here's the deal, all right? Don't forget about starting off fresh when it comes to the weekend, especially around the 4th of July. If that's what you want to do, I need you to go to Unique Trends and Styles Barbershop in Jacksonville, where it is a must that you trust your barber. They are fully staffed with amazing new barbers. Shout out to D and shout out to Unique. Once again, they are ready to give you a fresh cut. Plus, Miss Sheree, if you want to get those retwists on those locks or those wigs, she is in the building. Here's the deal, y'all. If you mention that you heard the commercial for the Rec Room Sports Radio show for Unique Trends and Styles, you can get with D or Unique. And I know Unique and D is in the building. You can get that 10% discount on your haircut on the very first one. So make an appointment at 904-592-7135. That's 904-592-7135. And come in as a customer, return as family. We'll be back in just a moment. In the second half hour, we got one more big domino to talk about when it comes to NBA free agency frenzy. Then, of course, we got my guy. And of course, we don't even need to introduce him. We're going to be talking about the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Big shouts out to Ethan on the other side of the wall, man. We're going to be here right here on the RecRoom Sports Radio show. Hey, Brian, do something for the homies, please.
Yeah, man, if y'all ever want to come through, come check out the shop, Unique Trends and Styles. We got a lot of stuff to do. Game room. Come check out the great barbers we have in here. You know, anybody could cut you up. Fresh cuts every day, clean cuts. Consistency is the key, and we always got you. Thank you.
That's right. It's your boy K Witch, Mama's number one draft pick, and we are here live in the Energon Levine Studios. It's the Rec Room Sports Radio show, and of course, I got the gang in the building. We got Bobby G from the Audible Sports Podcast, where life and sports meet culture. Also, Game Time 2 with 6. Then we got Uncle Scott in the building. Of course, Uncle Scott is all over the network, and you know what it is when you talk about Around the Diamond. And then, of course, we got AP. Alan Perales has joined us, man. Thank you, Alan, for coming fresh off of work and joining the conversation. But, gentlemen, we've got to get into the part of the show that I love the most. Big shouts out to Sports PSP for checking in, my guy. I see you. We appreciate it. We like to bring the internet to the radio, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you've not been here, but there's a controversial topic that has been circling the NBA hemisphere for about close to 24 hours now. And that is the epic saga of Jaylen Brown being traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for what seems to be what we have realized and what we will talk about in depth is Paul George and several first and several second round picks. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been chronicling this here on the Rec Room Sports Radio show for about 2.5 to 3 weeks, where we have mentioned on numerous occasions that Jaylen Brown has made mention of him wanting to be the focal point of his own team. We're not even mentioning that he wanted to be, but he liked it. He appreciated it. And overnight, it seems as though the brain trust of the Boston Celtics said, you know what? We're not even going to give you what you want necessarily. We're just going to take what we can get because this is the peak of your pricing. This is where your price is going to be at its max. And speaking of max, we're going to send you to play. In a rival market. What? In a rival market? Like right next door? Bruh. In Philly? I don't even know if this was thought through properly when I think about the context of sports and what it means to be traded to an in-state, not even in-state, in-conference rivalry. Okay, and to be traded for none other than who was once great and still is serviceable, Paul George, and what is to be reconciled as 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Gentlemen, I don't even want to get into it. I'm gonna let somebody else go first. Alan, you are joining us fresh off of work. Your brain is working. Where are you on this Jaylen Brown trade to Philadelphia?
Oh boy! To everybody in Boston, Massachusetts, my condolences. Because
thank you, Alan.
What even was this? What even was this? You basically traded Jaylen Brown for a pack of cigarettes and the homeless guy next to you. I get it. The picks are going to be good for the future, depending on how they play out. But you're basically getting half of Paul George and then everybody else you brought in through either free agency or other trades. And now, you put Jaylen Brown with VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid. Okay, maybe Philly's something to be reckoned with now. And, oh, by the way, this is also off the back of getting beat by Philadelphia in the postseason this past year as well. So it just makes it even worse. So, you mentioned trading it in division rivals. This is I know Philly's experienced this when T.O. went from Philly to Dallas, so that was not fun for them. But it's now on the other side for them as they get Jaylen Brown from Boston. So, I'm so sorry, Boston fans. You've gone through it so rough this year.
Yeah, of course. We have it extremely well. Speaking of Boston fan, I can't skip over Uncle Scott. Uncle Scott, you've been here with me through the whole saga, man. What are your thoughts, sir?
This was not a Brad Stevens decision. This was a Bill Chisholm decision, the new owner of the Celtics. They were not going to pay Jaylen Brown any kind of an extension, which he's due, I guess, sometime this summer. I don't know when, but he's due and eligible for an extension. We're going to pay him. When you trade him to a Philadelphia division rival, Usually, what that says is you don't think the guy has got anything left, and you don't think you could D him up and stop him. Do we forget that Jaylen Brown always plays his game with a chip on his shoulder?
Always.
And needs reasons why to excel. Wait till he plays the Celtics the first time. You don't think the guy wants to score 50 points in that game?
Oh my goodness.
He's going to eat the Celtics. I mean, I don't know what the Celtics are thinking. I don't know what Bill Chisholm's thinking. I don't think this was a Brad Stevens move. I think this was a Bill Chisholm move. I firmly believe that. The money's they're not saving any money. Paul George has got $55 million coming to him in the next 2 years. Jaylen Brown has $57 million a year. So they're not saving money. So I don't know why they would trade him to Philadelphia. If you were going to trade him, give up Billy Shireman and Hugo Gonzalez and get Giannis. That's what stopped that trade from happening. Is that Bucks wanted Shireman and Hugo, and the Celtics didn't want to do it. So to me, Brad Stevens is saying with those two guys not trading the Giannis trade, that those two guys are going to be monsters this coming year. I don't see it from either one of them. I don't like the trade at all. I think this is a franchise-altering trade that will set the Celtics back, and I don't think the Celtics are going to win a title for the next decade. They just ruined Jason Tatum's the rest of his career. His career is done. For winning titles, it's all done. Paul George is going to be out of Boston in a year or 2 years. And then they don't get a draft pick in next year's draft. They got to wait till 2028 and then 2031.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I want to ask you this real quick, Scott, because I want to get your opinion on this. What will ultimately be worse, this trade or the Mookie Betts trade?
This trade is worse by far than the Mookie Betts trade. By far. It's not even close. You play with 5 guys on the court at the same time. Jaylen Brown averaged what, 28 points this year? And a bunch of rebounds and things like that. Yeah. How are they going to make that up? Is Paul George going to make that up? No. I don't think so.
This is going to be a tough one.
Windhorst said every NBA executive, or Sham said every NBA executive said, what is Boston doing? What are they doing?
Right. And I'm sure that they were like, shoot, I had an offer out for him if they were going to give him up for Paul George. Shoot, you could have got this guy. Bobby G, when you hear about the trade, man, and you review, just review the thoughts, man. Where are you at with this?
Highly upset. Highly upset. And not for the Celtics. And, definitely not for Philly. But, anybody know who made that trade?
Anybody.
Who Philly's new GM is?
It's not Bob Myers, is it?
No. Was it Mike Gansey? His name's Mike Gansey.
Oh, Gansey, that's right. Yeah. I heard that.
Anybody know where he came from? Where they hired him from?
Cleveland.
Yeah. Bro, you couldn't let Kobe Altman know. Hey, you know what? Before I get out of here, Brad Stevens is right for the taking. You should just offer him this. You could probably get Jaylen Brown for Jared Allen and Jaden Tyson in the first round pick, which is a better deal than what they got.
Yep.
Nah, he kept it in the tuck and waited till he got his job and used it again. Like Brad Stevens literally got Brad Stevens. Milwaukee called you and said, "Hey, I hear you got interest in Giannis. This is what we want." Brad Stevens, no, it's too much.
Too much.
And stood on it. Stuck to his guns. Brad Stevens then called the Philadelphia 76ers and said, "Hey, you want Jaylen Brown? Here's what I want." And Mike Gansey said no. And Brad Stevens said, "Okay." Mike Gansey said, "Wait, I'll give you this." And Brad Stevens said, "Okay." He didn't stick to his guns.
None.
I don't know if it's out there, but I heard this morning from somebody I trust their info who got it from somebody they trust. The original asking price was Paul George, VJ Edgecombe, and 5 first-round picks.
Yes.
That was the original ask.
100%.
How do we get from that to just Paul George and some freaking draft picks.
Yeah. How? Where? What was going on?
Is it fair to say that Paul George has been a part of 2 of the worst trades in the last decade?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, here's my
Oh,
other
yeah.
question: how did we get here with Jaylen Brown? How did we get here? He didn't want out of Boston. He never asked for a trade.
It was reported multiple times that he told everyone in his camp that he did not want to be traded.
So how did we get here? Because he went on Twitch and he said some things about referees and other things. So the Celtics were like, "We're done with him. That's it, gone."
Again,
I mean,
he's
how
got
did we
3
get
more
here?
years on his contract. He's got
3.
3 more years on his contract.
And this is where I'm going to come in with it, fellas. So, okay, on top of what we've all said, right? I had to review the footage of last week where our own Bobby G made mention of something that I had to pay attention to. The Boston Celtics and the media at large has deemed the key piece to the franchise as Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Okay.
Accurate.
Put that picture up on the wall. Now, if your friend that you just won a championship with, your guy held you down through the fire that is recovering from an injury, is now on the chopping block, where is Jason Tatum driving down the E-way, speeding to the front office, kicking in the door, blowing it up, and saying, "Y'all better not trade my boy"? Where's this? Where's a heartfelt tweet that says, "Man, I did not expect this to happen. We had such a great time together. We grew up together. We love the city of Boston." Where is that information? Because if Jason Tatum is the face of the franchise, like we have deemed him, like Bobby so eloquently put last week, where is the pushback from him or anyone in his camp? We all know Jason Tatum famously is being cornered by his mother, if you will. Where's Mrs. Tatum in the hey, my boy don't want that. He loved Jason. I mean, he loved Jaylen. They grew together. They grew up together. We want them to be here for the future. Where is any of this? There is none. I feel as though something's wrong.
Where is anybody getting in Tatum's ear going, "Hey, Jason, if they trade him, you're not winning any more titles. You're successful.
They should know.
It's done."
And I am an advocate for feeling confident in your abilities. I know that. That's what you're supposed to do. You made it to the league, so you should feel as though you could do anything. But the point would be, hey man, I feel better doing it with you. You know how much they beg for a complimentary piece in other markets? Right now, LeBron is possibly going to go play with his best friend just because they're going to fit better in Golden State. Why would you give up that? So
Just for another LeBron reference, though.
Say what now?
So just for another LeBron reference, similar circumstances. In 2017, people knew there was a rift between LeBron and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving came out and said, "I want to be traded." The media literally went to LeBron and, "Hey, what do you think about this whole cat? LeBron, out. Don't trade him." Regardless of what they had going on, he verbally let everybody know, "Don't trade him." And I think you're absolutely right. Where was that for Jason Tatum? Like through this whole thing, Jason Tatum has been 100% silent. Radio silent.
Silent.
With Scott, how long do you think Jason Tatum lasts in Boston now? After this?
Oh no, he's gonna have to play this out, brother.
He's gonna retire himself.
He's gonna retire a Celtic.
He got to play this out, brother. It's your fault now.
He is not leaving Boston. They will throw the bag at him in the Brinks truck.
JoJo White is rolling over in his grave. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, you know there is no way in God's green earth that Jason Tatum goes anywhere else now that they've done this. He better be the best Celtic ever. That's it.
Yeah. If he walks in when Brad Stevens get fired the next day.
I'm telling you, yeah. If he gets out of there, Brad Stevens is out the door too. You know who's laughing at this, and we're gonna get ready to go because you know why? We got to get ready for my guy to join us. You know who's laughing at this? Danny Ainge is laughing at this right now. Danny Ainge is like, I would have never done this. Anyway, y'all, it's the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. We got to get ready to talk some baseball, so we're going to go ahead and take another break. We got Uncle Scott. We got Bobby G. We got our guy, AP Allen Morales. We're going to do a little diamond talk right here on the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. We got Ethan ready to go right here on the Rec Room Sports Radio Show on ESPN 690. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, if y'all ever want to come through, come check out the shop, Unique Trends and Styles. We got a lot of stuff to do. Game room. Come check out the great barbers we have in here. You know, anybody could cut you up. Fresh cuts every day, clean cuts. Consistency is the key, and we always got you. Thank you. Yes, sir. That's right. It's time for the payback. You know what it is, man. It's your boy K Witch, Mama's #1 draft pick. We are live in the Anajar Levine studios, and I am here in the second hour. I'm ready. I know the boys are ready too. We got that diamond talk like we always do on Wednesdays with the guys where they bring in our good friend Jonathan Grishman. Unfortunately, Jonathan Grishman's not here. Big shout out to him. But today we are joined by my friend and colleague here in the studio, a friend of mine, someone who has garnered my attention and talked to me every time I'm in the building and mentioned, hey, look, when you're ready, I got you. And so now we got him in the building. One time for your mind, ladies and gentlemen, big ups to our friends in the Jumbo Shrimp Network. So we got to talk to our guy. Ethan, Ethan, what did you do?
How's it going? It's great to be here.
Yeah, man, of course, man. We see you in the studio right now. We are working on a couple of things because as we begin to work on how we can make this work properly, first of all, give yourself a little bit of an intro.
Sure, no problem. First of all, super glad to be here today. I work for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimps radio team as the communications assistant. And so what that means is I work with the play-by-play guys, Scott Kornberg and Matt Davis, for all of our home games. I produce our road games here at the ESPN Jacksonville 690 studio. And every day, regular basis, regular presence at the ballpark, helping to host pregame shows, postgame shows as well, and getting to be around the Jumbo Shrimp team as much as I can, interview some guys, get to know them as well. And a little bit about me. I'm from South Florida, Coral Springs guy, so Miami sports teams are my home. Grew up a big Marlins fan as well, so it's cool for me that my first job in affiliated baseball is working for the Marlins AAA team. I am a Gator as well, graduated UF last year, so I am a Florida man through and through.
Now, as a Florida man through and through, we've got some
a bit of affiliation as we can, not only talk about the Jumbo Shrimp, but also
talk
talk
about
about
the Miami Marlins. Uncle Scott, as you are checking things out from your end, I know you had a couple of questions. And AP Alan Morales, where are we right now, currently in the world of MLB baseball?
So, first of all, Miami's playing out in Colorado. I don't know how they're doing, but they've played really well in Colorado the first two games. Ethan, question to you: Braxton Garrett is he about ready to ascend up to the major leagues, or do you think he should stay in the minor leagues and get more experience? He's 3-2, 1.5 ERA, 64 innings pitched, 69 strikeouts. His WHIP is .81, which is outstanding at any level. What are your thoughts of Braxton Garrett for the Jumbo?
I think deserves another opportunity at the big league level here pretty soon, because he's a guy that coming into this season, he was hurt all of last year, got hurt in the middle of June of 2024 actually, and got elbow surgery. So he was working his way back. And coming into the season, he knew that despite his long track record at the big league level, this guy had been, on the Marlins big league team since 2020. He started a playoff game for this team in 2023. And he knew that going into this year, he was going to have to earn that spot back, because the Fish have a lot of good arms. I give them credit for developing those arms and for keeping them around. Guys like Sandy Alcantara and Max Meyer as well, anchoring this rotation this year. Ultimately, Garrett did not make the big league team out of spring training. They went with Jansen Junk, and they also signed a guy named Chris Paddock, who's no longer with the team, to go along with Yuri Perez to form that 5-man rotation. Garrett took that assignment with class, came down here, worked his butt off, got another opportunity when the team had a spot start open up. This was beginning of May, around that time. Unfortunately, in 2 starts, he did not do that well. Didn't make it through 3 innings in either start. So he ended up getting sent right back down here to Jacksonville. And now, again, he's putting together another great resume for him. So I think it's only a matter of time before we see him come up again at some point. God forbid somebody else gets hurt on this Marlins team, because there has been a lot of fluctuation with the pitching staff this year. I do think he is someone that does warrant a second look, though, in 2026.
Yeah, I would agree.
I will say, as a Rangers fan, I understand why that Chris Paddock thing did not work out. He only pitched 1 game for us, and then he was automatically DFA'd. So
yeah,
I completely understand that. So the Marlins themselves, I mean, what a month of June they've had. 20 wins in the month of June. It's the best that they've done since 2012, I believe, when they first became the Miami Marlins. So how impressed have you been lately of this team, and can they compete with Philly and Atlanta now that they're only about 5 games out?
Let me tell you guys, I am simply overjoyed by how this team has played the last month. I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming. I don't think anyone saw it coming. Going in at the end of May, this team was a whopping 8 games under 500. And then they went ahead and did what no other team in baseball history has ever done before, going from 8 under 500 at the beginning of a month to 6 over 500 by the month's end. It's simply not something that's ever been done before. So this team is playing well. They're playing together as a group right now, and it's been a lot of fun to see. And there have been a lot of different guys that you can point to as big reasons for that. I mentioned just before the way that this rotation has been thinned out over the years so far. Guys like Sandy Alcantara and Max Meyer have had to pitch like all-stars when main starters have gone down. Guys like Jansen Junk, who's rehabbing with Jacksonville right now. Yuri Perez as well, who just recently returned. Those 2 guys and a slew of others have had to step up big time. Meyer's having a career year. And then there's other guys as well. Kyle Stowers, who was the Marlins all-star rep last year, got off to a slow start in 26. Now he's starting to show what he can do again. Another guy is Owen Casey, who the Marlins got in an offseason trade from the Cubs. He had a really rough start to April. This guy's just a 23-year-old rookie, but the Fish decided, hey, let's let this guy develop at the major league level, and they're starting to see the benefits from that as well. He's turned that around here over the last couple of months. But I think one of the biggest reasons, and this ties into the Jumbo Shrimp as well, is a guy named Joe Mack. If you don't know who Joe Mack is, you soon will know, because this guy, ever since he got promoted to the Marlins May 4th, has led all of Major League Baseball in caught stealings. He is the Marlins starting catcher. This man was a month behind the pace of everybody else. And now he leads the entire league in caught stealings. This was an area the Marlins really struggled in, catching defense. They sent down Augustine Ramirez to Jacksonville, promote Joe Mack instead. This guy is also just 23 years old. He's just trying to figure things out, as a guy who's just getting up to the big leagues. But now his bat has come around as well. So you put all of these factors together with Clayton McCullough at the helm, Peter Bendix as the president of baseball operations, pulling the strings behind the scenes. It's a good group, and I'm very confident in them right now.
Sweet. Uncle Scott, you said you had another one?
Yeah, I have one more. So last year the Jumbo Shrimp won the division. This year they're only a couple games out. What has led to the success in the recent history of the Jumbo Shrimp? Can you point to one thing that has led to their success as an organization down in Jacksonville?
Absolutely. I would 100% say David Carpenter. Carp is the manager of the Jumbo Shrimp, has been since last season. Last year was a very special clubhouse. I was not here for it, but I did watch it from afar, just following the Marlins farm system. And this guy is a leader like I haven't seen anyone else lead a group of men. This is a guy that everyone trusts on a regular basis and forms a lot of great relationships with the guys as well, and has a great relationship with us as a media staff too. He pitched, several years in the big leagues as well, so he knows what it takes to win. He was on those mid-2010s Atlanta Braves teams that got into the playoffs as well. So this is a guy that's come in here and put his stamp on the organization. The Marlins trust him to lead this group of men, and a lot of guys have bought into that. The 2025 team was, I would say, it's an anomaly because every year to year in AAA, it can be some kind of a crapshoot sometimes, honestly, because it's harder to predict year to year how a AAA team is going to perform. It's entirely based on what kind of farm system, what kind of prospects these organizations each have coming up the pipeline. Then you go, you want to turn it over to the major league level. You've got August 3rd coming around pretty soon. That's the trade deadline. The Marlins, in their current position, might find themselves being buyers, which is something I didn't think I was saying a month ago. So they may have to deal from some of their top prospects. So you might see certain guys either at AA Pensacola or here in Jacksonville that are playing for this team might be going to other organizations in order for the big league team to get some big league ready help. That's just the way it works in professional baseball now. And that's why I say, yes, they want to see a winning product here at AAA, but they're not afraid to deal from that if it means adding to a big league team that might be ready to compete for something right now.
Little addition by subtraction, if you will.
Exactly right.
Before Alan goes, I know they're coming up to Worcester for 6 games, so I'm going to try to get out and watch a couple of them for sure. So
nice. Definitely do that. And say hi to Scott Kornberg as well. He'll be up there. He's the play-by-play voice of the Shrimp. Both Scott and Matt have been outstanding to me, welcoming me in and giving me a shot to help out.
I love the play call because I'm oftentimes in the car going, "Ooh, what happened?"
Yeah.
Alan, I know you got another one. What'd you say?
So, despite we've had a couple of feel-good stories in the American League this year with the White Sox and the Rays. The White Sox, especially after the horrific season they had 2 years ago. Despite all that, the National League far and wide, and Scott and I have talked about this for weeks now, far and wide outweighs the American League by far. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they've head-to-head, the National League is ahead of them by like 40 games or something like that, which is insane. There are only like 4 American League teams that are above 500, while you have half the National League that's above 500 right now and playing well. Is the talent pool in the National League just far and wide outweigh them what the American League is right now?
Yeah, I could agree with that. It's incredible to see a team like the White Sox in first place in the American League Central, and they're only 5 games over 500. And you mentioned this is a team that lost 121 games just 2 years ago.
Even I know that.
That's crazy to me. And then you've got the AL West. The Rangers and the Mariners are virtually tied for first place, and those teams are 44 and 43. So then you have the Rays leading the East right now. The AL East is always competitive. That's always an anomaly there. They're 50 and 33. They're in the lead at that division right now, 3.5 games over the Yankees. But yeah, it just seems like you have a really, it's flip-flopped in that sense. You've got a juggernaut Dodgers team with Ohtani and all of his wonderfully rich friends. You've got a Brewers team that knows how to do a lot with a little. You can say the same thing about the Rays as well. The Brewers are perennially at the top of this division, and the Braves have figured things out right now. And just to circle back, a month ago, I'm thinking, all right, Atlanta's running away with this division, but now the Phillies, a team that switched managers this year, now Don Mattingly's running the ship there. They've flipped things around under his leadership, and they're only 3 games out of first. And then the Fish find themselves 5.5 games out of first place. So I thought the East was a wrap at the end of May. I was definitely wrong about that.
Yeah, things happened, most definitely. And even in my novice idea of what has been going on, I've watched Uncle Scott and Alan repeatedly talking about the way that the National League is garnering so much attention. How, in some way, shape, or form, do we process that and put that towards what's been attributed to that? I heard you mention earlier, farm systems and AAA ball. Is it that somehow, some way that their farm systems and AAA teams and affiliates are, putting guys up the right way? Or is it really that they're spending the money to build the team the right way? Which one makes a little bit more? Or is it both?
I would say it is a little bit of both, honestly, because you've got some teams that spend money in the National League, no doubt about that. But at the same time, does money equal success? Ask the New York Mets that question.
Oh, no. I was going to say that too. I was going to say that.
That one doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, those poor Mets. I don't feel bad for them. I'm sorry. 15.5 games out of first place right now. But to your point, though, you don't always have to spend money to get those wins under your belt sometimes. The Rays have prided themselves on being a team that does a lot with a little. And that's just to tie it back to the Marlins. That's what they're trying to become. They went ahead and hired Peter Bendix to be the guy that runs the show in Miami. They hired him directly from the Rays because they wanted, hey, the Rays are perennial contenders. They're perennially at the top of their division, challenging for a wild card, playing meaningful games in September. And they are spending a fourth of what the Mets and the Dodgers are spending. And that's still the case. And they're at the top of their division right now. They've got a guy named Junior Caminero who's homered in 6 straight ball games. Ooh. He's only 22 years old. Ooh. From the Dominican Republic. This guy is absolutely incredible. But that's what the Marlins are trying to be at this point. Now, one thing that's going to come up, a conversation that, it's starting now and it's going to become a bigger conversation for you guys once we get into December, is what's going to happen with this CBA agreement that both the union and the league have to agree to when it comes to salary cap and floor. These are all things that are in motion right now that are going to change the fabric of the game moving forward.
Secret words, yeah. CBA. Bobby G, I see you.
Yeah, and because that was going to be my exact question, so it's a great segue. With that coming up, I know a lot of people have their eyes set on the cap. My thing is the floor. So I don't know from you, are you more interested in the salary floor? Because I think they were talking about it hovering around about $130 million, which would almost be about double the Marlins payroll right now. Yep. So in the team, like I'm a Guardians fan. So are you for a floor being enforced to just have these teams with such deep talent pools in their minor league systems to get those couple extra players in the major league to compete at a higher level?
Yeah, I'm absolutely for the cap and the floor. I think the floor, like you said, it's more intriguing to me because I want to see what happens when you look at teams like the Marlins, like the Rays, like the Pirates, and all of a sudden, hey guys, you've got to spend almost double what you're spending right now.
Oh no!
How do front offices adjust to that? And what kind of moves do they make to meet said requirement? And how does that change the fabric of the game today? But then on the other side of it, the ceiling is incredibly interesting to me as well, because you're not going to see $765 million contracts like what Juan Soto got from the Mets this offseason. It's probably going to look, more like the NBA, I would think, where it's around $200-something million is like the cap for a max contract like that. I think it could be more along those lines for baseball moving forward. I think that's what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Man. So, this is one of those moments where I just miss the idea of me somewhere in the yard playing baseball and me going, I think I'm going to pick up a basketball. Okay? Nah, I should have stuck with it while I had the chance. So either while you're here, we do a thing during the second hour, which is called special delivery. Okay?
Oh.
In essence, we have been talking not only baseball, but we've been talking basketball. So I need you to think with both minds. So as you talk about the jumbo shrimp, who can we expect to deliver as we have talked about them being successful this season? So if we had anybody to depend on for the special delivery for the jumbo shrimp, tell us a name that we're not thinking about right now.
Okay, I like that. It's a great question. One name that immediately comes to mind, guys, is Kemp Alderman for the jumbo shrimp. He's a guy, outfielder, third-round pick a couple of seasons ago by the Fish, got him out of Ole Miss. He is someone that is tearing the cover off the ball right now for AAA Jacksonville. He missed a month earlier this season, had a little bit of an elbow injury, but he's been back now for a couple of weeks. The jumbo shrimp were at home this past week, and he tore up that series against Memphis, hit a couple of home runs, drove in 7 runs as well. A guy that I could very easily see getting called up to the Marlins at some point, this year, if he can put together some more consistent at-bats and show what he can do. But in the meantime, I'm going to treasure him while he's here in Jacksonville. If you'd asked me that question back in April, I would have said Joe Mack. Now he's up in the big leagues tearing it up. I think that it's only a matter of time for a guy like Kemp to do that as well. And one thing, while I'm just here talking about the jumbo shrimp,
go ahead.
One thing that we did last weekend that I think was so cool, every year we do the Jacksonville Red Caps weekend. Are you familiar with this?
Yes. Tell everybody else about the Red Caps weekend, because I think that's one of the cool ones.
Yeah. They get to wear special jerseys to pay tribute to the Negro American League team that used to be here in Jacksonville. The Red Caps played from 1938 through 42, so it's a really nice gray jersey, pinstripes, red Jacks, Red Caps across the way, and just pay tribute to those guys from way back when. And the Memphis team that we were playing also participated in that, wore Memphis Red Sox jerseys. So it felt like a very old school baseball game when we were watching it. And it's funny, you can go not too far from where the ballpark is now to what used to be Durkee Field, where the Red Caps played. And you can see that old field, take it in for yourself and kind of experience what it used to be like back then. And I believe there's a Buck O'Neil statue that's out there, a guy who was certainly a father of Negro League baseball.
Yeah, for sure. That Buck O'Neil statue is out there. Make sure you go check that out. Now, and still in the same theme, because you kind of segued right into it. So as we talk about delivering things, if you could deliver us some fashion advice, right, for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, because you said it, I was going to lean into it anyway.
Okay.
As you talked about the Red Caps and the alternative jerseys for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimps, which one would you pick? The Red Cap jerseys or the multicolored Honey Dripper jerseys, which I'm going nuts for?
Look, I promise you I will deliver on that. I will get you a Honey Dripper jersey.
Which one?
He's dying for this Honey Dripper jersey.
I do love the Honey Dripper one. We wore that a couple weeks ago for a weekend, and that's sick. You've got the gold, you've got the pink, you've got the sky blue as well.
It's fly.
Yeah, I honestly think that that's one of my favorites. It's something that every minor league baseball team does in some form or fashion, is an alternate ego, alternate jersey. And that's one of ours. And we also do a Jacksonville Expos uniform, because it used to be the Jacksonville Expos back in the early 60s and 70s as well here in Jacksonville. So we got a really good group. One thing that I want to see the organization do, they don't do it right now, I'd like to see it happen, is you've got the Marlins, they've got some teal, that's their old school color. Right. I know that's not really a Jacksonville thing, but seeing as how we've been affiliated with the organization as either a AA or AAA team since 2009, I would like to see a teal Jumbo Shrimp jersey.
Slice of teal into that. I mean, Jags got a little bit of teal in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, Jacksonville definitely is an aqua teal. It's got a vibe to that.
Yeah. Anything that makes you think about the water to a degree. I mean, Jacksonville fits right in. Now, once again, we do a special delivery. So somehow, some way, I believe pitching is one of the hallmarks of baseball. You got starters, you got closers, you got relievers. When it comes to delivering a game, because I was texting you guys, I was listening last night. pitching in a jumbo shrimp uniform is a big deal right now. Who could we count on in the bullpen to deliver a W? Or was it the person who pitched last night?
Well, yeah, last night was an incredible game, by the way. A 1-0 jumbo shrimp win. Braxton Garrett goes 8 again, 8 shutout frames. Zach Pop got into a little trouble in the 9th, and ultimately he nailed down the save. So Pop is someone that's growing on me a little bit, but if there's one guy that I always love, whenever this guy jogs out of the bullpen, I get good feelings. His name is William Kempner.
Okay.
Let me paint the picture for you here. This man always has his top 2 buttons undone on his jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's got the high socks. If you want to talk about baseball fashion, the guy's got his high socks up, the pants are rolled up,
right,
and he's slinging, 95, 96 mile-an-hour sweepers out there. It's a California swagger he's got about him a little bit.
I like it.
He is someone that has gotten the call to the big leagues earlier this year, has thrown 9 scoreless innings in the bigs.
Oh, wow.
And yet he is, on occasion, flipped down here to AAA when they need to put up different arms. So right now he is with the Jumbo Shrimp team, but whenever he comes out of the pen, this is a guy that's only 25 years old, has a great future ahead of him. I always count on Kempner to get the job done.
Wow. And you know what? That cowbell is the signal that you got the job done, sir, because I did not expect for this interview to go as well as it did, but you did awesome.
Thank you.
We traversed a little bit of adversity when we first got on, but that's what we do here. Shout out to Brian, or our producer, for got it right. Thank you very much, sir. Now, Ethan, on your way out, man, do us a favor. Tell us where we can find you on your social medias and, of course, in the ether of the internet.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have EXP, Instagram, Twitter, and all of the above. That is EIBEPXP. I also host the Locked On Marlins show for the Locked On Network, so you can find the show out there as well at LO_Marlins. We are a daily show Monday through Friday, so we're always out there putting out some Marlins content.
Man, listen, first of all, Ethan, I don't know if you know, but after you come in here and you bring on a conversation like that, you have become an FOTG. You know what that stands for? You are now a friend of the game, ladies and gentlemen. He can hang with us here on the Rec Room Sports Studio Show anytime in the Anajar and Levine Studios, and we will bring him back because, of course, baseball ain't baseball till we get closer to October, baby. So, Ethan, man, thanks for joining us once again. Keep us abreast of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp information. If there's anything that we need to know, please pass it to Brian. Brian will pass it to me, and I will pass it to the homies. Do you have anything else you want to say before we get out of here and go to break?
Hey, Shrimp are 6-2 in the second half. Maybe if they win the second half, they're on to the ILCS for the second year in a row. It could happen, guys. I'll keep you updated.
Is there a game today?
Sure.
There is. There absolutely is a game today. 7:35 from Nashville. And I'll be producing it here at the studio.
Hey, so you got to go to work right after we get off. Once again, man, it's the boys from the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. We got Alan. We got Bobby G. We got Uncle Scott and Ethan from the Jumbo Shrimp in the building, man. It's the boys from the Rec Room Sports Radio Show. Brian, hit that button for us, please. The guillotine running away. Anyway, it's your boy K Witchman. I was on one draft pick. Big shouts out to Ethan Ibe for joining us, giving us that baseball insight from a baseball insider, as he is with the Jumbo Shrimp and the Miami Marlins, as he does Locked On Marlins. Man, this is a big deal. So this, I can't state how much I appreciate him joining us. Oh, news from the hot stove, Kyle Lowry retiring as a Raptor. Yeah, it's about time. And he's one of the greater Raptors we ever put on the jersey. We can all agree on that, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're not thinking about, if we think about the list of Raptors, the list is large, unbeknownst to most people, but he is on there. He's top 5 Raptor. Top 5. For sure.
He might be number 1.
If it wasn't for Kawhi, he would be number 1. I can give you that.
Vince Carter?
Vince Carter, maybe 2.
No. I think Vince Carter is the top Raptor.
Vince Carter's the top Raptor.
Didn't
Kawhi, I think Kawhi and Vince Carter are like 1A and 1B.
Yeah, but it was before he was Tracy McGrady.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He became Tracy McGrady in Orlando.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. I don't count Kawhi. You gotta do more than a year for me.
Yeah,
you gotta do more than a year.
Just because
Okay,
he won
I
a
get
title in Toronto, that doesn't.
Yeah.
It's Vince Carter is number 1, and then everybody else falls in line. So
you know who was number 1 at one point in time in the eyes of the NFL, especially when it comes to running backs? We would be remiss to not talk about Chris Johnson and his ALS diagnosis. That's right. CJ2K, as he was known, as he was one of the few players to eclipse the 2,000-yard mark in the NFL, was previously diagnosed with ALS and most recently made appearances on multiple programs, which he has shown that he is now, chair-ridden due to the extreme, disassociation with body functions that ALS causes. The wildest thing is he has one of the sight voice machines where it sees his eyes, and the voice on the computer sounds just like Chris Johnson. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Bobby G, you and I were having a quick conversation about that. What were your thoughts on the post-diagnosis of Chris Johnson?
Just sad. You hate to see anybody go through something like that, but that's all, just think of the good time, the greatness that he exuded. CJ2K.
Right.
And you wish him well, you wish family well, and friends well.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody else have thoughts on the CJ2K and the ALS moment?
39 years old. I mean, it's
so young.
Way too early for somebody as healthy as he was for years to be diagnosed with ALS. I mean, it's just a shame and a sin that he's 39 and won't get to see his kids grow up and all this other stuff. So it's tough. It really is tough.
Yeah.
To watch this.
The effects of ALS are a slow creeper, but of course we have seen from the reports that Chris Johnson is a fighter. Alan, you had a thought on at the end of the show?
Definitely one of my favorite players growing up. Obviously not really much of a Titans fan, but he was one of the players that really transcended the running back position in the 2000s. As you mentioned before, with the 2,000-yard rusher, something that rarely, even in this day and age, even back in the days of old, was a very rare feat to accomplish. So Chris Johnson is definitely in a higher class of running backs all time in NFL history, and it sucks seeing him having to go through this, because he definitely did a lot for the NFL. He brought a lot to the NFL, and it sucks that just at 39 years old he's having to fight through this.
Yeah, man. And of course, you gotta do what you can with the time that you have. Speaking of that, we might as well get right into it. Let's go ahead and do one of the things that I enjoy doing towards the end of the show. And let's go ahead and kick it to a slice of life. Brian, hit the music. All right, y'all. So this one's a little special and near and dear to my heart because today I would like to dedicate the show to a family member of mine. I want to dedicate today's show to my uncle Claude Collins, who passed away last week and was funeralized today. I was unable to make it to the funeral service. The thing I want everybody to think about is everybody has that family member who is they're related to some way, shape, or form, but the title that you give them is not the title that they leave with. You understand what I'm saying? He's my cousin, but he is technically by love and by law my uncle, someone that I got an opportunity to grow up with and hang with, and was to me a massive man. You know what I mean? He was strong. He would tell me about his time in the service. And he used to joke with me a lot and go, man, Whitfield, because he had an iconic laugh. He would go, Whitfield, you gonna give me $1 million one day? And I would, I was a little boy, so I'm shaking my head. Yeah, I'm gonna get it, And we would talk about that $1 million quite often, through gaining it through sports, whether it be baseball or basketball. Because my cousin Lewis, who was his son, was better than me pretty much at music and at basketball at one point in time. But, what I want to kind of wrap this up with is saying that, you get one family, and the titles you give them reign in eternity. So whether they're biological, whether they're married in, or whether they're like your mom's close friend that you get to call auntie because, she wiped the coal out your eye or brought food over or something like that. Let's think about the titles we give people, especially ones that are close to you. I also want to big shout out to Jay. Jay also wanted to make sure that we tell everybody that he was a raiser of men because he gave us the game a long time ago. He put 4 trees in the ground at my grandmother's house one time. 4 trees. And my grandmother never cut those trees. And for the rest of my life, my grandma said, well, you better go out there and put them trees in the ground like your Uncle Claude. And now every tree in my grandmother's yard, besides those 4, were planted by my hands. So much love to the Collins family. Much love to my family. Much love to everybody who checks us out and listens to us every day. So remember those titles, gentlemen and ladies, because one day they're going to mean something when they're not here. So rest in peace to my Uncle Claude. All right. And I think that's the show, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week. Of course, we will see if anybody else gets traded or somebody else ends up in another jersey. I can't stand it after Jaylen Brown is in a Philadelphia jersey. I'm going to lose it. Anyway, I'm getting the signal right now for Brian. It looks like we got to go. So go ahead, man. Hit the button. We out of here.
See